my name is Christy. Welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be continuing my mystery fabric mystery box challenge. If you didn't watch that video, please click here to watch that video. I got a lot of neon fabric, so I decided to make some workout wear. So this one's gonna be a sports bra. Sorry gentlemen, this one's a little bit more for the ladies, although stick around to the end so you can watch some sweet dance moves by this 40-plus-year-old. Please don't unsubscribe my channel. Ugh. In fact, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Let's get to the 80s. I'm so excited. Thanks for being here. Here is the super neon orange fabric with a totally rando black plastic tie in it. Here is a small clip from my unboxing video when I uncovered this gem. And neon continues. His is kind of a stretch crepe, I think it is. And this is really just a scrap. I'm also using some neon pink from the same fabric unboxing for trim because why not make this project even brighter? And since neither of those fabrics are a traditional sports bra material, I bought some power mesh for some stability. Top that off with some wideband elastic and some clear elastic, and I'm ready to sew. Per usual, I am patterning after a sports bra that I already own. I have doubled over the fabric and lined it up on fold. Start chalking around the edges, and I'm only going to chalk up to the side fold where the back portion begins. Add your 1/2 inch seam allowance all around the edges and cut it out. For extra stability, I cut out 2 of these before moving to the back. Starting where we left off on the side fold, do the same chalking around the edges. However, I'm going to choose a slight modification to create a strappy back rather than a racer back. And then same as the front, cut out 2 of the back pieces. I cut out the same front and back pieces from the power mesh, which leaves me with 2 front pieces with the power mesh layer and 2 back pieces also with the power mesh layer. Here I am pinning to attach the power mesh layer to the wrong side of one of the outside layers. If I had to do this again, I would have attached all 3 layers at once, sandwiching the mesh in between. For the next one, I'll do that. But I'm using a zigzag stitch just to maintain the stretchiness of the fabric. This way works, but you'll see later when I add the trim that it was a little bulkier than I wanted it to be. Now that the power mesh is attached, face the 2 pieces with the mesh together and the 2 lining layers without the mesh together, both with right sides together. I just said together a lot. Anyways, pin to sew. I'm choosing to use my serger, but a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine works just as well to maintain the stretch. To attach the 2 pieces, flip one inside out so that you can fit the other layer inside. Line them up with right sides, you guessed it, together. There's a lot of together in this. Line up the 2 layers at the seams, paying special attention that the seam allowances are going opposite directions to reduce the bulk, and then pin around the top edge to sew. I'm using a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine again and was so confused why it was not moving. It was not working. Do you see the pin that's totally getting dragged along behind it? Yeah, a pin got trapped inside there. I removed the pin, stupid pin, and then continued my zigzag stitching. I clipped the corners in an attempt to reduce bulk, but when I turned it inside out, it was still pretty puffy. Luckily, the trim, which is the next step, will hide it a bit. I want the trim, pew, pew. I don't know why I did that. It's getting late when I'm doing this voiceover. But anyways, I wanted the trim to go around the edges and end up making 2 shoulder straps on each side. I measured the top, front, and the back, then tried it on to see how long the crisscross straps needed to be. The inside straps needed to be 25 inches and the outside straps needed to be 22 inches, which in the end, both of them were too long. This is super hard to explain. Hopefully the visual will help, but I had to sew 2 pieces together to get the right lengths. Fold in half to mark the middles with a pin. And then do the same thing to find the middle of the front. Turn it inside out and match up the pins. Face the wrong side of the bra to the right side of the trim. Pin and sew just from one corner to the other corner. Then flip it right side out and fold the trim up. Using the clear elastic, cut to the same length, wedge it in between the seam and the trim, fold over once and then fold over again to fully enclose the elastic. Pin to sew. When you reach the straps, it's basically the same process, just without the extra layers. Be super careful where the strap starts to make sure that it is a clean transition. You don't need to stretch the elastic as you pin, but mine did grow a little bit in the process, so I just snipped off the excess. And now you're ready to sew from one length of the strap through the middle all the way through the other end of the strap with a zigzag stitch. Next step is to sew the outside strap. Hopefully it's becoming a little clearer. The outside strap is the super long one that I had to sew 2 pieces together. Same thing, find the middle, mark with a pin, and then find the middle of the back and mark it also with a pin. Pin the 2 together, and then continue pinning just from one corner through the back to the other corner, just like we did for the front. And sew just this portion using, once again, the zigzag stitch. Do the same fold over method we did for the front, sandwiching the clear elastic in the seam allowance, and be very careful at that transition where the strap begins. After everything is pinned, sew from strap to strap. Now that the straps are complete, it's time to figure out the crisscross design in the back. There's a lot of ways you can do this, so be creative. I'm choosing to attach the outside straps to the bottom and the inside straps to the top. I tried it on to make any adjustments to the strap lengths and took a few measurements just to make sure that they are aligned and in the middle. So all 4 of the straps in place with many straight stitches. I folded the edge of the trim up so I could hide the stitches underneath. After trying it on one more time, I can safely clip away the excess and then move on to the bottom band, whatever it's called. So the elastic is 5/8 of an inch wide, so I cut the fabric to be 2 inches wide. When it's folded over and sewn, a small portion of the elastic will be sewn too to keep it in place. I took my measurement and then subtracted an inch for a snug but comfortable fit, all the while ignoring everything I found saying that you should subtract 3 inches. I cut the elastic to that same length and enclosed it in the fabric. Took the 2 ends and sewed it together to make a tube. And then as I started pinning it on, I found out that the internet was right. I should have subtracted 3 inches. So I had to cut off the excess and re-sew the tube before I could invert the strap to line up the seams and match the raw edges together. Finally, I can take it to my serger so that I can attach all of these layers together. Fold it down and the band is complete. The last step is just to do some hand stitching on the edges of these straps. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and enjoy this throwback to the 80s final reveal.